Hi, everybody, and welcome to Integrity Talk. My name's John D. Rossett. For anybody older than, let's say, 15 years old, you know we're living in times unlike any other time in the history of the United States. Today, I want to spark a movement of the American people. Not of any political party, but of the American people as a whole. All my life, I was never very political. Even after I turned 18, I'm ashamed to say that I never even voted until I met my wife Marlene in the year 2000. I was 35 years old then. When I met her, we registered as Republicans, and when we voted, we looked at the issues and voted for who we thought was the best candidate at the time, whether it was a Republican or a Democrat. That ended in 2016 when Donald Trump decided to run for president. I knew the man for what he was even then, and I switched parties. When we come back, we'll talk about what I think the American people should do. A viewer left a comment on a Legal AF video that Americans should go on strike. He said truckers and everyone should go on strike, and that would wake these MAGA clowns up to start doing what's right. Let's be clear, the Republicans, or I should say MAGA, are blaming Democrats for the shutdown, saying that they're holding out for insurance for illegal immigrants. That's a blatant lie because, number one, illegal immigrants have never been eligible for insurance in the United States under Medicaid or any other plan, short of them buying insurance themselves from a private carrier. The immigrants that are eligible for insurance or subsidies are those who have been given legal status while their status is pending in the immigration courts. The Republicans control everything right now. The White House, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. The reality is that the shutdown is because they don't want these Epstein files released. And they know that once Adelita Grijalva is sworn in, she's going to sign that discharge document. And the people are one step closer to those files being exposed. We know the rest of the story about pro forma swearing, and Johnson did it with 2 Republicans very recently. So the shutdown's just an excuse to hold on to the Epstein documents longer. That said, here's what we, as the American people, who hate seeing the direction that Donald Dump and his minions are taking our country, need to do. Be sure, an undertaking this big would need some planning on a larger level that any one person could ever do alone. But it could be done. Here are a few examples that would be just a start. To get political attention, a strike must touch key economic and social systems without endangering lives. It's got to be peaceful, no violence, nothing like that. And here are some major leverage points. With transportation, truckers could have coordinated slow rolls or even voluntary shutdowns of non-essential routes that could halt commerce temporarily. Public transit workers in union-friendly cities could stage sick-outs, or safety inspections could slow systems without breaking contracts. Commuters, millions of everyday Americans refusing to drive for a week. A stay-at-home protest that would affect oil consumption, toll revenues, and public transit usage. Consumer spending. Americans could launch a no-spend week where all non-essential purchases are paused. No gas, no restaurants, no retail, no online shopping. And what this ultimately does is hurts corporate revenue and the tax income tied to it, creating direct financial pressure on the policymakers. Workforce participation, and I encourage small mom and pop businesses to consider this too. Non-union workers could take coordinated vacation or personal days en masse. Office and service industries would notice a sharp drop in productivity, signaling dissatisfaction. In the digital economy, refusing to use ad-driven platforms for a period, such as social media, streaming, and shopping, cuts corporate engagement data and ad impressions, a measurable economic symbol. Education and community. Teachers, parents, and students can stage teach-ins. Instead of normal classes, have focused classes on civic education, teaching things like the Constitution, which clearly at least one Trump administration official has no concept, namely Kristi Noem, who doesn't even know what a writ of habeas corpus is. And it sets up government accountability. And this reframes the protests on such as educational and civic engagement, not rebellion. Finally, I have some ideas, but this is far too big for any one person to take on. It would take at least a collaboration of multiple groups across the United States to make something like this happen. But a national strike must be highly organized and decentralized. But more importantly, it's got to be no partisanship at all. You'd have to use secure, nonpartisan communication platforms. It would have to include clear start and end dates. And you'd have to publish a unified message, something like, I don't know, Restore Democracy Week, or the People Stand Down, or something like this. But finally, and more important than anything, it's got to focus on solidarity and not partisanship. The strike should represent all Americans who feel unheard and see our democracy slipping away from us. That's all I've got for today. If you like the video, please like it, share, subscribe to our channel, and we'll have more like this coming soon. Have a great day.